This is your boy Leon D. We're going to talk about a lot of things on this podcast, primarily food. I like to talk about food a lot, but we're going to talk about food around the world. We're going to talk about some other things that's going to touch your heart or make you mad. It really don't matter, but I'm going to tell you what I'm going to tell you about it though. DJ Leon D. Peace. Let's get it on. This is your boy DJ Leon D. Let me tell you about a place I went to and got some of the best food, not just in the state, not just in the United States, but they got some of the best food in the world. And I'm gonna tell you about one main dish that they serve to everybody, and everybody offers this dish as on their menu. And I'm just not a big fan of it because, not that I don't like it, but yeah, I don't like it. But Charleston, South Carolina got some of the best food you're gonna have in the world. Charleston just got good food. And I went to different places, different parts of Charleston, and I just could not find a bad restaurant. The restaurants aren't big. There are a few big ones, but very, very few. Most of them are about the size of a townhome. I mean, they just own corners, and they just like the size of a townhome. They're not big, they're not fancy, but man, they got great food and great service. I went to Victoria's on one of the main streets, and the food was just great. They don't have big menus, which is what I like. Now don't get me wrong, I do like a diner, but with a diner, you gotta ask yourself, can that guy back there smoking a cigar or a cigarette on top of your grill, can he cook everything good? Probably not. Diners are more quick food service. Pancakes, grilled ham and cheese, they very, very quick food. But Charleston had restaurants, man, they were good. I went to a place called the Swamp Fox, and the food was excellent. And it was very, very priced reasonably. Now, I'm gonna tell you one thing about Charleston I'm not a fan of. Everybody wants to serve you shrimp and grits. Grits are cheap as shit to make. Don't take very long. Put them in some hot water, throw some butter on them, and now they have these things called cheesy grits and all this other type of fancy type of grits. They charge you like $30 to get like 7 or 8 shrimp on a bed of grits. I don't care how much you pay in your wait staff. That's way overpriced. But hey, if you're into that, get into it. I'm never gonna be into it because I know exactly what it cost. I know what the cost is, and I know it's overcharged big time. But as far as everything else goes in Charleston, they got it going on. They got a lot of good food. I mean, and they give you large southern portions. The portions are big as hell. I mean, you can walk out of there and have food for the next day. I'm gonna tell you one thing. I'm gonna tell you something I ordered. I ordered some chicken. I wanted a chicken meal with mashed potatoes and all this other stuff, right? And it was like $25. For dinner. For dinner, not bad at all. I did not expect to get 5 pieces of chicken. I was totally stunned when he brought out 5 big pieces of chicken. I was like, holy smoke. This is enough for today, tomorrow, and the day after. Or I could just share the chicken. But it just the amount I got. Mashed potatoes, he must have gave me three or four potatoes. And it was like $25. I was like, Jesus Christ. If I had known this, I would have never ever. And the whole time when I ordered the chicken, I was thinking about dessert because I wanted some cobbler. I'm like, I can get this chicken and get some cobbler. Shoot, when I saw that chicken come out, matter of fact, the drinks were big as hell. I'm talking about liquor. I said, hey, give me, this right here, and I want it in a short glass, and a couple of cubes of ice. He brought back this huge, the short glass was full, and then he had this chaser on another glass, and I'm thinking, for $12, I'm getting all this drink? What the hell? I can drink here all night long. just have 2 of these, I'm done for the rest of the week. So back to Charleston. Charleston got so many places to eat at. And see, downtown and North Charleston had great food. But Charleston run into another problem that a lot of cities in the South have. And I can't figure it out. I ran across it in Memphis. I ran across it in, not so much in New Orleans, because the food in Charleston and the food in New Orleans, almost the same. But I went and got some Gullah food. Gullah. It's hard to find that now. They all advertise all over Charleston that they have these restaurants, these soul food restaurants from these, people that, was forced over here through slavery from Africa. Some of the best food in the world you ever gonna have. And, and all I wanted really was red rice. But you really gotta hunt for a restaurant that's open when you're there, because you can get red rice anywhere. And red rice to me was really nothing fancy. I just had wanted some because the last time I went to Charleston, I didn't have a chance to get any. So it wasn't like it was a big deal. I mean, it wasn't a big deal at all. But, and the red rice is just, red rice. I don't know why it's famous. Hell, I can make any rice red. All you do is add some, paprika to it, it becomes red, But, anyway, they had some of the best food that you ever gonna get. And Charleston got a world-class food scene. Now, I'm gonna tell you the downside about Charleston. And I don't know why that's the case, because I went to Charleston, North Charleston, Monk's Corner. I went to all these different little places around here. And I went to Rodney Scott, get some whole hog. I did all that. But the one thing about Charleston I noticed I never saw there, and I drove around quite a bit, I never saw food trucks or food carts. Never saw them. Nope, didn't see them at all. Looked like crazy for them because, you see, I like to have breakfast in the hotel, lunch at a food cart or a food truck, and dinner in a restaurant. I try to stick to those things whenever I travel. That way I get to sample a little of everything the city got. So I want to sample everything the city has. And that gives me a good vision of the city. Now, one thing I do as well, when I go to a city, I like to see the diversity of the city. Because the diversity of the city tells you what type of food the city has. Yeah. If you're in an all-white area, then you can expect, you're going to have your vegan restaurants, you're going to have your vegetarian stuff, you're going to have all kind of stuff, that caters to that particular type of person or people. If you're in an all-black area, same thing. So they had, they didn't really have a lot of barbecue restaurants, which kind of surprised me. Not many as I would have thought, especially when I was in North Charleston or I was going toward the outer suburbs, which is like the country, because cities in the South don't have outer suburbs unless you're in Miami or Atlanta, or something like that. They have the city and then they have the country. So I went to the country, and all the restaurants, soul food was everywhere, but all the restaurants tend to have a lot of they were far apart, and they had very limited menu, and most of it was whole hog or pulled pork. They're big on pulled pork in that area for barbecue. But if you want to go in the city of Charleston, they were big on shrimp and grits. But they also was big on fried chicken. I didn't realize how much people in Charleston loves fried chicken. But every restaurant ordered it. And the one piece of meat, the one animal I didn't see a lot of, and I really wanted to, but it wasn't a big deal. That was beef. They had pork and chicken everywhere. Every restaurant had pork and chicken. I didn't see a lot of beef. It could be because beef is more expensive, and for that demographics, they were not going to pay that kind of money for beef when you got pork everywhere. So that is probably one of the reasons they didn't have what I was looking for. But as far as service goes, those country people down in Charleston, man, they were very courteous. They were They really reminded me of Savannah, because Savannah got great food too, but I think Charleston got a leg up on Savannah. You know, but one thing Charleston don't have, and I don't really eat there anyway, but I did notice they don't do buffet. But to be honest about it, they don't need buffet because they give you enough whatever you order. But they don't do buffet. And I like the fact that every restaurant only had 3 or 4 different desserts at the most. That's how you do it. You don't give somebody, it's not a golden corral. You don't give them 85 different desserts. And, no. Get them what you do best, 2 or 3 of those. If cobbler is what you do, then you get them an apple, a peach, you get them 2 or 3 cobblers to play with, But yeah, no place I went to had more than 3 or 4. So saying that, downtown Charleston, it was kind of odd in a couple ways. There are some places that did not open every night of the week. But I get that. But if you're in the hotel district, like the places that I go to and where I stayed, if you're in the hotel district, you should be open every night of the week, people. Because those hotels stayed full. I mean, it wasn't like, and the reason I know, because right across from where I was staying at was the parking for the hotel I was in. That thing had 100 cars in it every single night. Every night they had 100 cars over there. So that means that you got at least 100 people who needs to eat. And maybe 20 going to eat in the hotel. But the hotel I was in, the M&T Suites downtown, was food was not very good. Nobody I knew was eating there. And why would you eat in a hotel when you got Charleston with all these restaurants? And why is 1 or 2 of them closed? And they're the ones that everybody recommends. They say, go here, close. Oh, they don't open on Tuesday. Oh, they don't open on Thursday. Who in the hell? I mean, and what makes it so bad? The College of Charleston was literally about 500 feet from where I was staying at. And it's on the main street. And I'm thinking to myself, how in the hell these restaurants aren't open when all these kids are going to college, spending mom and dad money, got plenty of money, all these people staying in hotels, tall hotels, big hotels. These people are staying there wanting to eat at least twice a day out. Why are you closed? I just didn't get that. And I still don't get that. That to me is just, I don't know. If you come to the Northeast, every diner, restaurant is open every day of the week. Most of them serve 3 different meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But they're going to be open. Because if you own a restaurant, your biggest money maker is liquor. So dinner time, you can have 2, really 3 employees, and you can make it work. A server, a bartender, and a cook. You can make it work. Because I know I can make it work. And no one's asking you, to have 85 people there. And generally, people don't really care how long it takes to get dinner as long as it's good. If you're going to make me wait for dinner, it better be good. So Charleston, I don't know who owns these places that were closed, but if I was an investor in one of your restaurants, we got a problem. We got a problem. And Charleston is known for its nightlife. You see TV shows like Southern Charm and all the other shows. The nightlife is not bad there. But I didn't get into that because I, like to get up early in the morning. I have things to do. But my whole point was, you got a pretty city. I went to some lakes and stuff, and they got the Mountain League baseball team, pretty stadium. But I went around a lot, and I'm like, this is a pretty city. You got a pretty little freeway system, I-26 and 526 and US 17. Traffic moves, not bad at all. I mean, it gets heavy at times, but not like heavy in the Northeast where you don't move. When traffic moves, that's what we dream about here. But my whole problem was, when it came to food, there are some places that did not open during lunchtime. If I own a restaurant, I'm going to be open during lunchtime. if I am a waiter in a restaurant in a college city, I'm open all the damn time because I know in the South you're not paying $20 an hour. I know you're paying, I don't know, the minimum wage is probably $10 an hour, whatever it is. I know you're paying them that, but I know you can make a lot more than that because one of the things they do in the South, at least where I was at in Charleston, they drink mimosas and Bloody Marys and stuff during lunch. So that's alcohol, that's money. I'm not bypassing those dollars up. And then I wondered to myself, if you open only for dinner, that means that whoever's working for you, that's their second job. They got a primary job because you can't make it on just, dinner tips. Now, I'm not saying you won't make good money compared to what the minimum wage is, because I'm sure you will. But you gotta be open, people. You gotta be open. The food in Charleston is as almost as good as New Orleans. Almost. You got the same kind of people that are in New Orleans in Charleston almost. You got old money, new money, and all this kind of stuff, and you don't see them really cling together. But the people there are good people when it comes to their food. Charleston is definitely a food city. I was surprised on how high I would rank them compared to all the major large cities in America. They are definitely, LA, New Orleans, and Chicago at points. They got just some good food. They're up there with those other ones. The only thing about Charleston that's different than LA is that you don't have the diversity of different cultures, because it's almost all Southern culture, which is cool, because LA just got every culture, but LA sucks at Southern food. They really sucks. Where New Orleans is great at Southern foods, but they suck at Mexican food. So there's a bad and a good in every single major city that I've been to, that I experienced in restaurants. There's a bad and a good. And it's not like the bad is bad and but I can say that. It's not like the bad is bad, but the great is great. In Charleston, you're one of the people that got great food for the type of food and the type of people you have there. You're not going to see a lot of Asians there. So don't go looking for Asian restaurants. It's just not going to happen. But you can see a lot of Southern people, and you look for Southern restaurants, you're going to get some of the best in America. It is what it is. You're going to get some of the best in America. You're not going to see a lot of Near East Indians. No, they don't have them. They do, they're hiding. They don't have them. So don't go looking for curry. No, don't look for curry. It's not going to happen. Don't go look for Persian foods, because you got a few people who maybe Persians, maybe Persian, but it's not like LA, where you got a whole damn little part of LA Westwood that's all Persian. No, you're not going to have that. But what you are going to have is great Southern food, great seafood, great grits, and great food from Gula food. You're just going to have that. You're going to have almost Creole food, easy to find. You're going to have a lot of New Orleans infused food. You're going to have a bunch of it. So if you're going to be in South Carolina,